Today on the newscast, Iran publishes a list of sensitive sites that could be targeted in a future war with Israel. Plus, Iran and Syria bolstering air defenses around Damascus. It's a Wars and Rumors of War update next. Hey folks, Erick Stakelbeck here. Welcome to the Watchman Newscast. We start the week with some troubling news. A leading Iranian regime-linked media outlet has published a list of sensitive sites, what it calls sensitive sites inside Israel that could be targeted by Iran and its proxies in a future war. We're going to break that down for you. Also, Iran and the Assad regime in Syria bolstering air defenses around the Syrian capital of Damascus. Are there prophetic implications? Every time we talk about Damascus here on the newscast, commenters bring up, of course, Isaiah 17. We'll break that down in a minute, all the details around this latest Iranian threat. But first, one way we can help Israel stand strong in the face of these threats is to support Israel's economy, which can be severely harmed every time there's a new terror wave or threat. Which is why I have to tell you about my good friends at Artza. Now, we've been partnering with Artza for a while now here on the newscast because we really believe in what they are doing. Each Artza box features amazing products from a different city or region in Israel, all made in Israel by Israeli small businesses. Hey, the holidays are here, and Artza is now featuring a special Christmas box with 8 different beautiful handcrafted products made in Bethlehem, Nazareth, and Jerusalem, all pivotal places, of course, in the life and ministry of Jesus. Folks, today is Cyber Monday and tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and this is a great gift for anyone in your life who loves God's land and wants to fulfill that biblical mandate to bless Israel as you support Israeli small businesses. Just go to artzabox.com and use the discount code WATCHMAN25 to get 25% off your Artza box subscription just in time for the holidays. Take advantage of that special 25% Artza box discount now. It's a great cause and a good deal, and we hope you enjoy it. Now, what is not such a good deal, and I mentioned it at the top, is that Iranian list of, quote, sensitive Israeli sites that Iran would potentially target in a future war with the Jewish state. And we know that war is coming. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But the Iranian regime mouthpiece known as the Tasnim news agency released this list today. Seth Frantzman of the Jerusalem Post, who does great work on this issue, he broke it today for the English language media. He's got a lot of great scoops and analysis. I encourage you to check out Seth Frantzman at the Jerusalem Post, but he laid out the specifics of this Tasnim report. Again, Iranian regime mouthpiece. Number one, not a surprise, the list of targets: the Israeli Prime Minister's office, Israel's Knesset, the Defense Ministry, Israel's nuclear sites. I'm thinking in particular of Dimona in the Negev Desert, certain military sites, airports, including civilian airports. Think of Ben Gurion in Tel Aviv. Think of the airport in Eilat way down south. So no surprise, folks, overall to this target list. We knew that these would be the targets that Iran and its proxies would go after in a future war with Israel. But why the release and why the timing? Seth Frantzman makes a good point that, number one, it is really a threat, a warning to Israel, sending a message to Israel that we are coming. This is the Iranian regime's message. And remember also the timing. This comes on the heels of the death of a top Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps colonel and officer by the name of Davoud Jafari last week. He was killed in a roadside bomb, or by a roadside bomb, outside of the Syrian capital of Damascus. Iran has blamed Israel for the attack and has vowed revenge. So perhaps the timing of the publication of this report in Iran's Tasnim news agency is no coincidence. But secondly, is this what we can expect going forward as Israel moves towards that coming Great Northern War? That's what we've called it here in the newscast, pitting it against Iran and its proxies, in particular in Syria and Lebanon to the north, but other members of that Iranian-backed ring of fire which surrounds Israel on all sides will also throw their hats in the ring, folks. Just to review, we've got Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad in Gaza. We've got the Houthi rebels in Yemen to the far south of Israel. We've got those various Shia militias in Iraq and Syria to Israel's north and east. And of course, we have Iran's most lethal proxy, Hezbollah, perched on Israel's northern border in southern Lebanon, armed to the teeth with at least 150,000 rockets and missiles pointed at every inch of Israel. That's not all. There's tens of thousands more rockets and missiles wielded by the likes of Hamas, Islamic Jihad, the Houthis, the militias, along with those Iranian-supplied and in most cases Iranian-produced drones, attack drones, which are packed with explosives and flown into a target. They've been called kamikaze drones, suicide drones. Iran has used them to great effect, to the point where they're now supplying Russia with hundreds, if not thousands, of these very drones that Russia is using with great impact on the battlefields of Ukraine. So that's where we're at. The hybrid model of rockets, missiles, and attack drones that Iran and its proxies plan to bombard Israel with. Israel, a tiny nation that is the size of the state of New Jersey, roughly. And again, Iran just wants to overwhelm Israel with a barrage of rockets, missiles, and drones coming from every angle, every kind of geographic location surrounding the Jewish state. And clearly, judging by this target list, which again, not really surprising, targeting sensitive Israeli sites, military, government, nuclear, intel, and of course, civilian sites. There will be a bombardment of civilian areas in Israel as well. And add to that, Iran's attempts to bolster the missile stockpiles, not only its own, and Iran has the most robust ballistic missile program in the entire region, but Hezbollah in particular. You know the name. We've talked about it many times here in the newscast. Precision Guided Missiles, PGMs for short. Okay, I know I'm painting a dire picture for you. I'm just giving you the realistic picture of what is coming down the pike. Here's the good news. Before you go and hide under your table as you're watching this or hide under your desk at work, here's the good news that you can't forget. God Almighty, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He still sits on the throne. He's still in control. He neither slumbers nor sleeps, and the Bible's very clear. Read Psalms, folks. It says this throughout. God regards the enemies of Israel, and he laughs. So take heart. We know that some nasty things are coming, but we know that Israel has a pretty strong ally in the form of the God of Israel. But number two, Israel also, folks, in just the natural sense, has been preparing for this coming showdown with Iran and its proxies for years. I can tell you I've been at live fire drills with the Israel Defense Forces along that Syria and along the Lebanon border as well. Tank drills early in the morning, late at night. I've been with the IDF on a few occasions, filming for the Watchman. We've showed it here in the newscast. And by the way, if you miss any of our newscast, any videos that we post here, and we are posting practically every day, Monday through Saturday for sure, and sometimes on Sunday, be sure to subscribe to the Watchman News channel right here on YouTube and click the notification bell so you get alerts every time a new video is posted. But at those live fire drills that I've been at with the IDF, I could see their level of intensity and preparation. They're ready for this. And secondly, Israel has the most powerful and well-trained military in the Middle East, folks. Air, land, and sea, the Israel Defense Forces are a superior fighting force, one of the finest in the world, and top-notch in the field of intelligence as well. So you have Israel's missile defense systems that the IDF clearly will be leaning on in this coming bombardment. There's no way to sugarcoat it, let's be honest. This is what Iran has been preparing for, but Israel, likewise, also preparing. Iron Dome, obviously, for short-range missiles, a 90% success rate, has performed at an amazing level in engagements against the likes of Hamas and Islamic Jihad out of Gaza. You've got David's Sling for medium-range missiles. You've got the Arrow missile defense system as well to counter those long-range missiles. Lastly, Israel's been working on the Iron Beam laser defense system as well. So a lot going on as we move towards this coming great northern war. The bulk of the action will be to the north, but again, Hamas, Islamic Jihad, and the Houthis, who are to the south of Israel, will also get involved in this, folks, no doubt, as they try to ignite that ring of fire. And that brings me to the last point we want to bring up here in the newscast today, that Iran and Syria are reportedly bolstering their missile or their air defense systems around Damascus. And Chinese and Korean companies have reportedly helped to build some of these missile defense systems. Then you have Iran's domestically produced Bavar 373 missile defense system. At least 2 of those have reportedly, according to Middle East media outlets, have reportedly been transited into Syria as well, all to form, I guess, a shield around Damascus. Now, why is that? Could it be that Iran is transiting so many weapons through the Syrian capital? Think of Damascus International Airport, which Israel bombed in the summer earlier this year. It was shut down for a time. Damascus seems to be a crucial transit point for Iran and its proxies as Iran transits weapons from Iran through Syria into southern Lebanon, into the hands of Hezbollah. So we are watching developments in Damascus very, very closely as Benjamin Netanyahu is ready to take office once again as Israel's prime minister. And he is the man who started Israel's campaign against Iran and its proxies in Syria during his last go-round as prime minister. So, folks, things are heating up for sure. Keep all of it in prayer. We are watching all this very closely here on the newscast. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Until tomorrow, God bless you. And remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the Watchman Newscast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, click subscribe, and tap the bell icon to turn on notifications for new Watchman Newscast episodes every weekday.